AFC North schedule. All 4 teams in the AFC North schedule reveal, ranking, and review. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the Cincy Bengals. They have the 3rd hardest schedule in the NFL. 536 win percentage. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL. Yeah, we got the Bengals to do first. We're going to start off with them. Hope you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe. Let's get right into it. Bengals preseason. We know 2 of them. They're versus Arizona and they're versus Rams. 7:30 and 7 o'clock. Week 1, they're at home versus Pittsburgh on CBS at 1 o'clock. That game should be pretty good. I do like the fact that they actually are home for Week 1. Week 2, I think that is a game they can definitely win. Week 2, they're in Dallas. That's going to be a lot harder. 4:25 on CBS, national TV. Big game. Who the heck knows who will win that? But really, it sounds like a good toss-up game. Then you're at New York, the Jets for Week 3, 1 o'clock on CBS. Game they definitely can win. Definitely probably should win. They lost their last year, though, so who the heck knows. Then they play the Dolphins on Thursday night on Amazon Prime Video at 8:15. This game's really like that's a really good game. Like if you remember last year they played the Jags Week 4. That was a really good game. I'm expecting a similar type of game. And then they go to Baltimore for Sunday Night Football on a short week. I mean, on a pretty long break, which is a good thing. So, yeah, I think they have 2 games they definitely can win. 3 games, really. They have 2 tough games in Baltimore and in Dallas. But who the heck knows? They're playing. I think they will start out pretty good. That is Sunday Night Football, but they did blow them out there last year, so who the heck knows what's going to happen there. Then Week 6, they're on 1 o'clock on CBS. They're in New Orleans. I think that'll be a good game. Week 7, they're at home versus the Falcons on Fox. Game they definitely should win. Week 8, Monday Night Football in Cleveland. It should be a good game, but who the heck knows? Last time they were in Cleveland, last time they actually played against Cleveland in a meaningful ball game, they lost by 5 points because their defense couldn't stop the run and they couldn't protect Joe Burrow. Then Week 9, they have the Panthers at home on Fox. Definitely should win that. That's a gimme before their bye week. After bye, on Sunday Night Football, they're in Pittsburgh. That's going to be a big game. They definitely want to win that. Next week, they're in Tennessee on Thanksgiving weekend, 1 o'clock on CBS. That game's a game they absolutely need to win because they're going into they're home versus Kansas City next week in an AFC Championship rematch. They've had their Kansas City's numbers so far, but I don't know if they're going to win this one. It doesn't seem like the team can win a 3rd straight game against them, but who the heck knows? 4:25 on CBS, NFL on CBS doubleheader game too. Then they got the Browns Week 14 on CBS. At home, that's a big game. They definitely probably want to need that game. Like, there's not a ton of easy games in their schedule. I'm saying it's pretty balanced, I think. They have a pretty rough 4-week stretch here. That's probably their hardest 4-week stretch here. Yeah, no, you know what? This is their hardest 4-week stretch. Kansas City, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, New England. Not easy. Then they're at Tampa at 4:25 on CBS. That game's very anticipated, very highly. Many people are going to be watching that one. That's a big game. They're going to want to win that. Then they're in New England Week 16. That's not going to be easy. That's probably going to be on CBS on national television on Christmas Eve. And then you got Monday Night Football to close out the season versus Buffalo. That game's not going to be easy either. Sorry about that. Either way. And then they have Baltimore close out the season. This is not an easy. They don't have an easy schedule by any means. I don't think it's a terrible one. Just the fact that it's pretty balanced. Like easy, hard, harder, hard, meh, easy, hard, easy, meh, hard, meh. So. Yeah, you have this 4-week stretch, 5-week stretch, pretty brutal. But other than that, I really don't think it's that bad. And they're all on Sundays, too. That's the other good thing other than the Monday night game. It's not like they're playing on Thursday, then a Monday, then a Wednesday. Who the heck knows? This isn't the worst schedule in the world. I think they're kind of lucky the way they got it, and they got a good, almost perfect bye week. So Bengals, I think you should be lucky. Yeah, you're playing a lot of good teams, but we'll see. The Browns have basically a middle of the road schedule, 15th easiest, 494 win percentage. Yeah, pretty much normal strength schedule. So weeks 1 and 2 for the Browns basically cakewalks. They're at Carolina on CBS at 1 o'clock. Then they're versus the Jets at 1 o'clock on CBS. Cakewalk games. And then you look at the preseason. They got the Jacksonville 7 o'clock on Friday to open it. And then you got the Eagles and Bears at 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Sunday for week 2, and then week 3 of the preseason they're on a Saturday. So pretty interesting schedule for the preseason. But yeah, back to normal schedule. Their first 2 weeks are pretty much cakewalks. I'd be shocked if they didn't start out 2-0. Week 3, Amazon Prime Video Thursday night. Of course, if you didn't know, the Browns have a lot of questions surrounding quarterback because Baker Mayfield will start if Deshaun Watson gets suspended, obviously. But if he doesn't get suspended, good chance they could win the division. But yeah, week 3 they have Thursday night football. Amazon Prime Video at 8:15 against Pittsburgh. That is not going to be an easy game. I really don't think it will. I think they will be able to win the game, but I don't think it'll be easy. At Atlanta, cakewalk on CBS. Then you got the Chargers. Not going to be easy. They are home, though, then they're versus New England. I think they should be able to beat New England at home. I really do think so. You got Baltimore, and then you got at Baltimore on CBS at 1 o'clock. That game's not going to be easy either. I don't think it's pretty imbalanced. If they should start out 4-0, like theoretically, maybe even 5-0. But then you're lucky they do get New England and Chargers on. They should have won one of those games. I don't think they're beating Baltimore. Like, I really don't think they're going into Baltimore and beating them. I'll just be honest with you. Versus Cincinnati on Monday Night Football, they honestly, if they're gonna win a game in this division, like other than against the Steelers, this is the one they're gonna win. It's gonna be the Monday night game. I just think they do play well in prime time, so they should be able to win that. Week 9, their bye week, perfect bye week. Like, I can't really complain. The bye, it's not really easy though. They're at Miami at 1 o'clock on CBS. So that's not going to be an easy game. Then you got at Buffalo, 1 o'clock on CBS as well. That game's going to be really tough. If they win that game, which they definitely could, that'll be big for them. Then they're versus Tampa Bay on Fox at 1 o'clock in Week 12. That game's probably going to be the national game. So at 1 o'clock, first game of a doubleheader. So they're going to want to win that game. At Houston, it's cakewalk to win that. At Cincinnati, going to be really hard. Week 14. That also will probably be a national game. Yeah, that'll probably be a national game for Week 14. Then Week 15, we don't know. They might play on the NFL Network tripleheader, or they might play at 1 o'clock on Sunday, or 4:25 on Sunday. Saturday, they have the Saints at 1 o'clock. That should be a good game. I think it'll be competitive. I think they should win it, though, because, frankly, I've never really seen Jameis Winston play well in cold temperatures. Week 17, they're at Washington, 1 o'clock on Fox. That should be a decent game. They should be able to win it, definitely, but who knows with that young defensive line for Washington. To Pittsburgh to end the season, that game could be meaningless or it could be a really big game for them. Probably a really big game. But yeah, Browns are a really interesting team. They're a little bit under the radar. They're a little bit of a mess. They don't have an easy schedule. I'd say it's like a B-tier schedule. It's not like a super hard schedule, but it's pretty imbalanced. Like, you go from playing Carolina, New York, Pittsburgh, and Atlanta to playing the Chargers, the Patriots, the Ravens, and the Bengals. Then you got, after Miami, you have Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Then you got, like, honestly, those stretches aren't really that bad, honestly. They have a couple, like, weird, funky ones. But I think they got pretty good with the teams they're playing on the road. Like, other than playing at Buffalo, I don't, like, at Baltimore, where I'm like, they're not going to win those games. I'd be shocked. I'd be surprised if they won those games. Maybe at Pittsburgh week 18, but that's literally it. There's 2 games where I'm like, road games where I'm like, I'd be surprised if they won those games. Some home games are going to be tough too, but I really do think they're lucky with the away games they got. They only got like 2 games that are like really tough, which is good for them. And they only have, let's see how many primetime games they have. They've got only 2 primetime games, so they're a little bit under the radar there too. Then we go look back to the Bengals. Since they were in the Super Bowl, they had 1, 2, 3, 5 primetime games, which honestly, there only should be like the top 8 teams and should get primetime games. Cowboys are always going to get 5 primetime games. They should not be giving teams 13 teams 5 primetime games. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, now let's go on to the Ravens. The Ravens have the 10th easiest schedule, 473 win percentage. Really good for them. See what the heck they can do. Okay, for the Ravens, their preseason games. They're versus Tennessee on Thursday, week 1 preseason. Week 2, they're in Arizona at 8 o'clock. Then, to close out the preseason, 4 o'clock on Saturday against Washington. They have, let's see when primetime games. 1, 2, 3 primetime games for the Ravens. Potentially 4. They're at New York to start the season. That game should be an absolute blowout. They should destroy them. I honestly think so. They're out. Both start the game, 2 games, 1 o'clock on CBS. Then they're versus Miami, 1 o'clock on CBS. Another game they should win. I don't think it'll be as easy as at New York, but I don't think it'll be like super hard. At New England, 1 o'clock on Fox, probably the doubleheader game. I definitely think the first game of the NFL Fox doubleheader game 1, but I definitely think that game will not be easy. They'll have to play well, and I really do think defensively to win that game. Then you got Sunday Night Football. No, not Sunday Night Football. That's later. You got versus Buffalo, 1 o'clock on CBS. That game probably going to be the national game, 1 o'clock on CBS. First game of the doubleheader. Yeah, that game's going to be really good, important for them. They win that game, people are going to be on the radar because, honestly, they're either starting out 2-1 or 3-0. Maybe at worst they're starting out 1-2. But if they're home against Buffalo and they blow them out, people are going to be ready. Then you got Sunday Night Football Week 5 versus Cincinnati. They need to win that game. I don't think they're going to have they have an easy stretch right here to start the season. They want to take advantage of that. Win 3 in a row. You lose one of these 2 games, it's fine. They want to win this game, though. They don't want to start out 0-1 in the division. That's just the truth. At New York, week 6 on CBS. The Giants stink. They need to win this game. Week 7 versus Cleveland. That's going to be a good game. Then they got the Bucs in Tampa Bay on Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. That game's going to be really good. Another good one versus Saints on Monday Night Football. That game, let's hope they're not injured, could be very intriguing. Just for the fact there's going to be 2 really high-powered running games, a couple good receivers. I do think that game could be, it's really interesting, really. Week 10, goodbye week. Week 11 versus Carolina. I do like that game for them. All right off the bye. It's an easy way to get in. Then you got Jacksonville 1 o'clock on CBS. Then you're versus Denver on the NFL on CBS doubleheader game 1. This game, so you have 2 easy games. Got to get ready for this one. This game's going to be really important. Got Russell Wilson, see if they can beat him. At Pittsburgh, not going to be an easy game. Week 15, the flex game. We don't know what's going to happen there, but they're at Cleveland. They got to be ready whenever the heck they play. Saturday for Christmas Eve, 1 o'clock on Fox versus Atlanta. They need to win that one, too. Should be an easy win. Versus Pittsburgh, I think they're going to win that, too. I really don't think why they wouldn't, unless they're hurt or something. At Cincinnati to end the season, either going to be very important or going to be a meaningless game again. I really do think the Ravens have a pretty favorable schedule. Like, they don't have, like, this stretch right here is not awesome. This stretch right here is not, no, like, they have one hard stretch, I'll be honest with you. This one isn't easy either, but I'd say they have one stretch where they got to play well. They win 2 out of these 3 games, they're making the playoffs. That's my opinion on it. They should absolutely be one of these 3 teams. But these 3 games, this is going to be their hardest stretch. This will probably be their second hardest stretch. I don't think it's a super good schedule, but I'd say it's like a B+. It's really good. Steelers are the 13th hardest schedule in the NFL, 5-12 win percentage. Okay, for the Steelers, they have they have 5 primetime games. Versus Seattle, week 1 on Saturday. Week 2, they're at Jacksonville at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Week 3, on a Sunday, they're versus Detroit at 4:30. Week 1, they're at Cincinnati, open season. That game's not going to be easy. If they can win that, I think they'll be good. Of course, they're playing good offense. Their defense is going to have to play well. Versus New England, that's a game they definitely can win. It's going to be a defensive battle. Those are the games they like to be in. At Cleveland, I don't think the Cleveland's run defense is great on Thursday night. This is definitely a game they can win. Week 4, this is absolutely a game they can win. This game is probably the game they will win. Versus New York, 1 o'clock on CBS. Another game on CBS at 1 o'clock at Buffalo. I don't know if they'll win that. It'll be a tough game, but no, never say never. 1 o'clock on Fox. Week 6 NFL on Fox. Versus Tampa, game they should win. Week 7 and 8, they're in Miami on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be a tough game. I think they can still win it. Week 8, they're at Philadelphia, 1 o'clock on CBS. That game's probably going to be, like, messy, sloppy. Because whenever the Eagles and Steelers play, it seems like they just don't play good football. Then you got Week 9 as their bye, a really good bye week. All these teams have really good bye weeks, it seems like. Week 10, they're versus New Orleans. They're versus the Saints, 1 o'clock on Fox. Should be a good game. Sunday Night Football, Week 11, versus the Bengals. See what happens in that one. Probably will be a loss. Who knows? At Indy on Monday Night Football, Week 12. I think that's a game they can win. Absolutely. At Atlanta, another game they can win. 1 o'clock on CBS. Versus Baltimore, though. 1 o'clock on CBS. That's going to be a tough game. But they get a little bit of break going to Carolina, 1 o'clock on CBS. Then you got Week 16 versus Las Vegas on NFL Network. NFL Network Christmas Eve special. Should be a really good game. I'll watch that going to bed. Then you got the Ravens Week 17 on CBS, and you got Cleveland to close it out. Overall, I think it's a decent schedule. Like, I don't think it's super easy, super hard either. Like, it's like 2 game stretches that aren't easy, like versus New England and at Cleveland. I think they can definitely beat New England. Cleveland will be hard. They're much more talented than they are. You got Buffalo and Tampa Bay. That's not going to be easy. Even Miami and Philadelphia, that won't be easy either. But, like, I think they can beat these teams. They're like middle tier. Then you got the Bengals and Colts. That's not going to be easy. I do think they can beat the Colts, though. I don't think the Colts are a team they can, like, they'd lose to a ton. But other than that, maybe the last 3 games aren't easy. But we've seen honestly, the last 3 games I've never really seen them murder a team. If there's like a fringe playoff team, like they're sick. Say they're like a game below, like they're a game back. Let's say they're like 7-7 or something. They close out the season really strong. That's how those types of teams are. Or they implode. It's one of those 2 ways. It's not like they just like skid in or they're like. It's different if they're like in the playoffs or like securely in the playoffs and they blow it. That's different. Either they implode at 7-7 or they rise to the occasion at 7-7. That's what I think the Steelers are going to be like, though. Their schedule favors them, though. They should be able to get to above 500 before week 16, which is really important. See if they can do that. But yeah, for the most weak team or like the not the best team in the AFC North, I think they have a decent schedule. Okay. Looking at it, Ravens. I have them as the most favorable schedule for the division, 0.473%. Here's why. I just think they have like a couple of really nice breaks in between, like 2-3 game stretches where they can just pick up some wins and then get ready for the tough games. That's really important for teams that are like really wanting to contend and have had injury issues in the past. Really good for them, and they have a really favorable bye weeks. All these teams do. Honestly, from the Bengals to the Ravens schedule, really the only difference is the teams they're playing. I don't think the balance is that much of an issue for 3 of the teams in the division. Then I have the Steelers having the second best schedule. It's really because they're balanced. Yeah, they have some really hard teams on their schedule, but it's also the fact I don't think, like, you look at who is it? Or was it the Browns? Yeah, I think the Browns got lucky with what is it called? I think the Browns got lucky with the teams they played on the road, but I don't think the Steelers are that hard of a, like, they have a really balanced schedule. Yeah, they have some tough teams they're playing, but it's 1 week. It's not like they can bounce back quick. It's not like they're playing 3 hard teams in a row or they hammer 3 straight losses. That's not their schedule. They're lucky with that. Browns, they're also lucky because they have some favorable matchups, but they also have some really bad stretches where they're playing some really tough teams. They could drop some games there, which is really bad for a team if they want to win some games. That's why they're in 3rd, because it's not a very balanced schedule at all. It's like I would say it's one of the worst, but it's not even close to like the middle of when it comes to balance. Bengals. The Bengals have it's really about the opponents. Like I think they have a pretty balanced schedule. I don't think they're when they're going on the road. I don't think where they're playing, when they're playing is that big of a deal. It's just the teams they're playing. They're playing really good teams. That's just the truth on it. They have 5 primetime games. I don't know if that's going to sit well with them either. Yeah, the Steelers playing 5 primetime games, but I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. They have the best coach one of the best coaches ever, even. You could say top 10. But then you think about it, like the Ravens only have 3, the Browns only have 2. That does help. I don't think the Bengals are the type of team that are going to play well in primetime. That's my opinion on it. Steelers, on the other hand, they always seem to do. They have a really good head coach. That's my opinion on it. Either way, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals. That's the schedule favorability for these teams. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. And yeah.
Sideline for this third down.
3rd and 4. Jackson keeps it himself up the middle. He's got room. Lamar Jackson, open field, inside the 20. He is in. Lamar